Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that can change the way you see yourself and the world around you. It's time to understand a truth that too many ignore. Walking away doesn't make you weaker, it makes you stronger. Walking away doesn't lower your value, it raises it. When you learn to walk away, you send a message clear, strong, and undeniable. Walking away is one of the most powerful actions a person can take, especially when it comes to matters of self-worth. It is not a decision made out of weakness or despair, but one of courage and clarity. To walk away means you have chosen to prioritize your dignity and well-being over the fear of losing someone or something that no longer serves you. This act sends a clear message, not just to others, but to yourself, that you are worthy of respect, care, and value, and you refuse to settle for anything less. The decision to walk away often comes with a mix of emotions. There might be sadness, anger, or even fear of what lies ahead. But behind all those feelings is an undeniable strength, a strength that says, I will not remain where I am not valued. It takes tremendous courage to recognize that staying in certain situations might cost you more than leaving ever will. Whether it's a relationship, a job, or a toxic friendship, walking away means you have made the choice to protect your inner peace and self-respect. When you walk away, you're telling the world that your worth is not dependent on anyone's approval. You're rejecting the idea that you need to cling to something or someone to feel complete. Instead, you're embracing the truth that your value is intrinsic. You are not walking away to hurt anyone or to prove a point. You are walking away because you know that you deserve better, and you're willing to wait for what aligns with your values and aspirations. One of the most profound aspects of walking away is the effect it has on your confidence. It's not an easy decision to make, especially when you've invested time, energy, and emotions into a situation. But once you make the choice, there's a shift within you. You begin to see yourself in a new light, as someone who is strong enough to let go of what isn't right, even if it's difficult. This newfound confidence radiates outward, making you more attractive, not just in appearance, but in the way you carry yourself and interact with the world. Walking away is also a powerful way to set boundaries. It tells others what you will and will not tolerate. When you allow someone to treat you poorly or fail to recognize your worth, you're essentially teaching them that it's acceptable. But when you walk away, you're showing them that you value yourself too much to remain in a situation where you're not respected. This act doesn't just benefit you, it often serves as a wake-up call for others. They begin to realize what they've lost. And in many cases, they gain a newfound respect for you, even if they don't admit it. It's important to understand that walking away isn't about anger or revenge. It's about self-preservation and self-respect. It's not a punishment for the other person, but a gift to yourself. It's saying, I choose me. And when you make that choice, you reclaim your power. No one can take advantage of you or manipulate you when you're willing to walk away. This act of reclaiming your power can be transformative, giving you the strength to face other challenges in life with grace and resilience. Walking away creates space for better opportunities and healthier relationships. Sometimes we hold on to things because we're afraid of the unknown. We convince ourselves that it's better to stay in a familiar but unfulfilling situation than to step into uncertainty. But the truth is, when you walk away, you're opening the door for something better to enter your life. You're making room for relationships, experiences, and opportunities that align with your true self. It's also a lesson in self-trust. Walking away requires you to trust your instincts and believe in your ability to make the right decisions for yourself. It's a reminder that you don't need external validation to know your worth. Your worth isn't determined by how much someone else values you, it's determined by how much you value yourself. And when you walk away, you're acting on that understanding. Walking away is not about giving up, it's about leveling up. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be in situations and relationships that bring out the best in you. It's about choosing peace over chaos, respect over disregard, and love over indifference. Each time you walk away from something that diminishes your worth, you're taking a step toward the life you truly deserve. There's a misconception that walking away is an act of weakness, but the opposite is true. It takes immense strength to leave what is comfortable or familiar, even when you know it's not right for you. It takes bravery to face the unknown and trust that better things are ahead. Walking away is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of wisdom. It means you've learned to listen to your inner voice and prioritize your own well-being. Walking away is a declaration of self-worth. It's an acknowledgement that you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness, and you refuse to settle for anything less. It's a reminder to yourself and to the world that you know your value and that you're not afraid to choose yourself. Walking away isn't just an action, it's a mindset, a commitment to honoring yourself and living a life that reflects your true worth. It's a fundamental truth of human nature that people often fail to fully appreciate what they have until there's a chance of losing it. This isn't always intentional, it's simply how we're wired. When something or someone becomes a constant presence, it's easy to take it for granted. The value of that person or thing fades into the background, blending into the everyday noise of life. Only when it's gone or on the verge of being gone does its true importance come into sharp focus. Think about the relationships in your life, whether romantic, platonic, or professional. How often have you seen someone invest their heart, energy, and time into someone else, only to feel overlooked or undervalued? The giver often thinks, if I just keep showing how much I care, they'll eventually realize my worth. But the reality is often the opposite. Over time, the person receiving all that care and attention becomes accustomed to it. It becomes their normal. They stop seeing it as a gift and start seeing it as an expectation, a given. The moment you remove yourself from that dynamic, everything changes. By stepping away, you disrupt the pattern. You take away what they've grown used to. Suddenly, what was once taken for granted becomes noticeable by its absence. It's only then that they might begin to realize what they had. It's human nature to miss something more deeply when it's no longer easily accessible. This isn't to suggest that you should play games or manipulate people by making yourself unavailable. That's not the point. The point is understanding the role that your presence plays in the lives of others and recognizing when it's being undervalued. When you give endlessly without receiving appreciation, you're not just exhausting yourself, you're also unintentionally teaching others that your time, energy, and effort come without boundaries. Walking away or even creating distance is a way of reclaiming your energy and refocusing it on yourself. It's about showing others and yourself that you are not someone who will remain in a situation where you're undervalued. This isn't about being dramatic or issuing ultimatums. It's about taking a quiet, firm stand for your own worth. It's a powerful way of resetting the dynamic and reminding others that you are a person with limits, needs, and expectations. When someone realizes they might lose you, it forces them to reevaluate how they've treated you. Have they shown gratitude for your efforts? Have they respected your time and energy? Have they reciprocated your care and investment? These are questions they may not have considered when they felt your presence was guaranteed. The possibility of losing you creates a moment of clarity, making them more aware of how much you've contributed to their life. It's not just about relationships either. This principle applies to all areas of life. Employers may only realize the value of a dedicated employee when that person resigns. Friends might only understand the depth of your loyalty when you're no longer around to offer it. Even in day-to-day interactions, the absence of something often highlights its importance. It's a universal truth that spans every aspect of human connection. The realization of value through loss can be painful, both for the person leaving and the one left behind. For the person walking away, there may be a sense of frustration. Why did it take the threat of loss for them to see my worth? Why couldn't they value me while I was there? These questions are valid, but they're also a reminder of why it's so important to prioritize yourself. Waiting for someone else to realize your value while you continue to feel unseen and unappreciated is not a healthy way to live. On the flip side, for the person who realizes they're losing someone, there's often a mix of regret and panic. They may scramble to fix things, to make amends, to show that they now see what they didn't see before. While this can sometimes lead to reconciliation and growth, it's also important to approach these situations with caution. Genuine appreciation is consistent, not conditional. If someone only values you when you're about to leave, you have to ask yourself if their intentions are rooted in true respect or simply fear of change. Understanding this dynamic also empowers you to make more intentional choices about how you invest your time and energy. You begin to recognize when a situation or relationship is one-sided and when it's time to step back. You learn to value yourself enough to walk away when necessary, not out of spite, but out of love for yourself. This doesn't mean you should withhold your care or affection to make people value you more. Authenticity matters, and playing games only leads to confusion and distrust. But it does mean being mindful of how much you give and ensuring that your efforts are met with equal appreciation. Value is a two-way street, and both parties should feel seen, respected, and cherished. People value what they might lose because loss highlights importance. It's a hard truth, but an empowering one. It reminds you that your presence is a gift, not an obligation. You are not replaceable, and your worth is not tied to anyone else's recognition. By understanding this, you can choose relationships, environments, and opportunities that genuinely honor and reflect the value you bring. And in doing so, you set the standard for how you deserve to be treated. Self-respect is one of the most powerful and magnetic qualities a person can possess. It's not something you wear or something you can fake. It emanates from within and speaks louder than any words ever could. When you carry yourself with self-respect, it shows in how you move, how you speak, and how you interact with others. It becomes a silent yet commanding presence that draws people toward you, not out of pity or obligation, but out of genuine admiration. Self-respect begins with knowing your worth. It's about understanding that you are valuable, deserving of kindness, respect, and dignity. This doesn't come from external validation or the approval of others, but from a deep internal conviction that you matter. When you respect yourself, you naturally set higher standards for how you allow others to treat you. You no longer tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or neglect, because you know that you are worth more than that. This sense of self-respect is incredibly attractive because it signals confidence and strength. People are naturally drawn to those who exude an air of assurance, not arrogance, but a quiet confidence that says, "I know who I am, and I'm comfortable in my own skin." This kind of self-possession is rare, and it stands out in a world where many people are constantly seeking approval or trying to fit in. When you respect yourself, you don't feel the need to chase after anyone's validation because you already validate yourself. Self-respect also manifests in the way you care for yourself. It's not just about how you look, but how you treat your body, your mind, and your soul. Taking care of yourself physically by eating well, exercising, and dressing in a way that makes you feel good is one form of self-respect. But it goes deeper than that. It's also about taking time for your mental health, setting boundaries, and saying no when something doesn't align with your values or well-being. This kind of self-care sends a powerful message to the world that you prioritize yourself and won't compromise your integrity for the sake of pleasing others. When you respect yourself, you also develop a sense of independence. You're not looking for someone else to complete you because you already feel whole on your own. This independence is incredibly appealing because it shows that you're not needy or overly reliant on others for your happiness. Instead, you bring value to any relationship or interaction because you're coming from a place of strength and self-assurance. People find this kind of energy irresistible because it's both rare and inspiring. Self-respect doesn't mean you're closed off or unwilling to compromise. On the contrary, it means you're open to love and connection, but only on terms that honor your worth. You're not afraid to walk away from situations or people that don't align with your values because you know that staying in such situations would ultimately harm your sense of self. This willingness to walk away, to put your well-being above the fear of losing someone or something, is one of the most powerful expressions of self-respect. Self-respect teaches others how to treat you. When you hold yourself to high standards, people take notice. They see that you won't accept less than what you deserve, and as a result, they're more likely to approach you with respect and consideration. It's a natural law of human interaction. People treat you in accordance with how you treat yourself. When you respect yourself, you set the tone for how others will interact with you. This dynamic also plays a significant role in romantic relationships. People are often drawn to those who carry themselves with dignity and confidence. When you respect yourself, you're not constantly seeking reassurance or validation from your partner. Instead, you bring a sense of balance and stability to the relationship. You know your value, and that allows you to give love freely without fear of losing yourself in the process. This kind of self-assured love is incredibly attractive because it's grounded in mutual respect and understanding. On the other hand, a lack of self-respect can have the opposite effect. When you don't respect yourself, it often shows in the way you allow others to treat you. You may tolerate disrespect or neglect because you fear being alone, or because you don't believe you deserve better. This lack of boundaries can push people away, not because they don't care, but because it's hard to respect someone who doesn't respect themselves. Self-respect also brings a sense of authenticity. When you respect yourself, you're not trying to be someone you're not just to fit in or gain approval. You're comfortable being your true self, and that authenticity is magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who are genuine because it creates a sense of trust and connection. When you're authentic, you're not afraid to show your strengths and vulnerabilities, and that openness makes you more relatable and appealing. In every aspect of life, self-respect is a cornerstone of attractiveness. It shapes how you carry yourself, how you interact with others, and how you navigate the challenges and opportunities that come your way. It's a quiet strength that doesn't need to be shouted or flaunted. It simply exists, radiating out from within and drawing people toward you in a way that is both natural and undeniable. Walking away is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness. People assume that leaving a situation or stepping away from a person indicates a lack of courage or commitment. However, the truth is quite the opposite. Walking away is one of the strongest and most empowering decisions a person can make, especially when it comes to protecting their peace, self-worth, and emotional well-being. It takes immense strength to recognize when something no longer serves you and to choose yourself over the fear of judgment or loneliness. There is strength in knowing your limits and boundaries. When you walk away from a toxic relationship, a draining friendship, or an unfulfilling situation, you're not giving up, you're choosing to honor your needs. Many people stay in harmful circumstances because they fear what others might think, worry about being alone, or hope for things to change. It takes courage to admit that something isn't working and to act on that realization. It's not easy to step away from something familiar, even when it's hurting you. But doing so demonstrates a deep understanding of your worth and a refusal to settle for less than you deserve. Walking away requires self-awareness. You need to recognize the signs that a situation is no longer beneficial or that it's starting to harm you. This awareness isn't always immediate. Sometimes it takes time to see the patterns of disrespect, neglect, or lack of appreciation. But once you do, the decision to walk away becomes an act of self-respect. It's a way of saying, I value myself too much to stay in a place where I'm not valued. This clarity and decisiveness are hallmarks of strength, not weakness. The act of walking away also demands resilience. There's often a period of uncertainty or discomfort after leaving a situation, and it takes inner fortitude to endure that. The path isn't always smooth. You might question your decision, face criticism from others, or even feel moments of regret. But strength is found in sticking to your decision, trusting that it was made for the right reasons. It's about holding firm to the belief that you deserve better, even when the immediate aftermath feels challenging. Walking away also sets a powerful precedent for how you live your life. It sends a clear message to the world and to yourself that you refuse to accept anything that doesn't align with your values and goals. This act of prioritizing your well-being creates a ripple effect. influencing the choices you make in the future. You start to approach relationships, opportunities, and challenges with a greater sense of confidence and clarity. You learn to say no to things that don't serve you, which opens the door for things that do. Walking away can inspire others. When people see you take a stand for yourself, it can be a powerful example. It shows that it's possible to choose yourself without guilt or apology. It can encourage others who might be struggling in similar situations to reevaluate their own circumstances. Strength is contagious, and your decision to walk away can create a ripple effect that empowers others to do the same. It's important to note that walking away doesn't mean you don't care. In fact, it's often because you care deeply about yourself and sometimes even about the other person or situation that you choose to leave. Staying in a situation where you're unhappy or undervalued can breed resentment and bitterness, which can be damaging to everyone involved. Walking away allows for growth, healing, and the possibility of better outcomes for both sides. It's an act of love, not just for yourself, but sometimes for others as well. There's also immense strength in choosing peace over conflict. Staying in a toxic situation often leads to ongoing arguments, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. Walking away is a way of reclaiming your peace. It's a statement that you won't let negativity consume you. It takes strength to step back, especially when you feel justified in fighting for change. But sometimes the strongest thing you can do is to walk away and let go, trusting that your peace is more valuable than proving a point or holding on to something that isn't meant to be. Walking away is a declaration of independence. It's a reminder that you are in control of your life and that you have the power to make decisions that align with your happiness and well-being. It's easy to feel trapped in situations, to believe that you have no other options. But walking away proves that you always have a choice. It's an act of reclaiming your power, of taking back control over your life, and refusing to be a victim of circumstance. Walking away is about choosing strength over fear. It's about trusting yourself enough to know that leaving something behind doesn't mean you're losing it, means you're creating space for something better. It's not about running away or avoiding challenges. It's about knowing when to fight and when to let go. And letting go, when done with purpose and intention, is one of the strongest things a person can do. It shows that you have the courage to choose yourself, to honor your worth, and to believe in the possibilities that lie ahead. Walking away from situations, relationships, or environments that no longer serve you is not an act of defeat. It is a profound act of courage and self-awareness. It is about creating space that allows for growth, transformation, and the arrival of better opportunities. Often we become so entrenched in what is familiar, even when it's unfulfilling or detrimental, that we fail to see the possibilities that lie beyond our current circumstances. The act of stepping away is a deliberate choice to prioritize your future over the comfort of what is known, and in doing so, you open the door to incredible potential. When you walk away, you remove yourself from the constraints of a situation that may be holding you back. Perhaps it's a relationship where you feel unappreciated or undervalued, or a job that no longer challenges or excites you. Staying in these situations can create a cycle of stagnation where you become stuck in routines and mindsets that limit your ability to grow. Walking away breaks that cycle. It's a conscious decision to seek environments that challenge and inspire you, places where you can learn, evolve, and thrive. This space you create is not just physical or situational, it is emotional and mental as well. When you're tied to something that drains your energy or leaves you feeling unfulfilled, it occupies a significant portion of your thoughts and emotions. Walking away frees you from that burden. It allows you to reclaim your energy and redirect it toward pursuits that align with your passions and values. This renewed focus enables you to invest in yourself, whether it's through personal development, learning new skills, or simply rediscovering your sense of purpose. Creating space for growth also means making room for better opportunities to find you. When you hold on to something that isn't working, you close yourself off to the possibilities that might be waiting just around the corner. Walking away signals to the universe and to yourself that you are ready for something better. It's an act of faith in your ability to attract and seize opportunities that align with your goals and aspirations. These opportunities often come when you least expect them, but they require the courage to let go of what's holding you back. Growth often happens in discomfort, and walking away is no exception. It can be challenging to leave behind what you've known, even if it's not what you want or need. There may be moments of doubt or fear, times when you question whether you made the right choice. But it's in these moments of uncertainty that growth begins. Stepping into the unknown pushes you out of your comfort zone and forces you to confront new challenges and opportunities. These experiences build resilience, adaptability, and confidence, qualities that are essential for personal and professional growth. Walking away also allows you to redefine your priorities and reset your boundaries. When you step back from a situation, you gain clarity about what truly matters to you. You start to understand what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not, what aligns with your values and what doesn't. This self-awareness is a powerful tool for growth because it helps you make better decisions in the future. It ensures that the opportunities and relationships you pursue are ones that contribute positively to your life and align with your long-term vision. Moreover, walking away can serve as a catalyst for self-discovery. In the absence of the distractions and noise of an unhealthy or unproductive situation, you have the chance to reconnect with yourself. You can explore your passions, rediscover your strengths, and gain a deeper understanding of who you are and what you want. This period of introspection is invaluable for personal growth because it allows you to emerge stronger, more focused, and better equipped to take on new opportunities. The space created by walking away is not an empty void, it is fertile ground for new beginnings. It's a chance to rebuild and reinvent yourself, to pursue goals and dreams that may have been sidelined or forgotten. This space is where you can plant the seeds of a brighter future, nurture them with care and intention, and watch them grow into something extraordinary. The opportunities that arise in this space are often a reflection of the strength and courage it took to walk away in the first place. Walking away is also a declaration of your self-worth. It's a statement that you believe you deserve better, and that you're willing to take the necessary steps to create a life that reflects that belief. This confidence and determination are magnetic. They attract opportunities and people who align with your values and aspirations. When you prioritize yourself and your growth, you create an environment where success and fulfillment are not just possible but inevitable. Walking away teaches you the importance of letting go. It's a reminder that holding on to something that no longer serves you only delays the arrival of what truly belongs in your life. Letting go is not about giving up, it's about making room for better things to come. It's about trusting that the act of walking away is not an end, but a beginning, a step toward a life filled with growth, purpose, and opportunities that resonate with who you are and who you aspire to be. Your worth is inherent and non-negotiable. It is not something that can be bartered or diminished by anyone or anything. Too often, people make the mistake of measuring their value based on external validation, whether it's from relationships, careers, or society standards. But the truth is, your worth is not contingent on the opinions, actions, or approval of others. It is built from within, grounded in your own beliefs, values, and the recognition of who you are at your core. The moment you realize that your worth is non-negotiable, everything about your life changes. You stop settling for less than you deserve. You stop allowing people to treat you poorly, and you start living a life that reflects your true value. Many people unknowingly allow their worth to be dictated by others. They seek validation, approval, and recognition from the world around them, believing that their value is determined by how others see them or how much others appreciate them. This can lead to a constant cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. When we let others define our worth, we give them power over how we feel about ourselves. This mindset leads to frustration and a lack of fulfillment because it relies on external forces that are beyond our control. Your worth, however, is not something that can be earned or lost. It doesn't fluctuate with success or failure. It's not tied to how many people love or respect you, nor is it contingent upon how much money you make or how many accolades you receive. Your worth exists independently of all these things. The recognition of your worth has to come from within. It's a fundamental truth about who you are, regardless of the situations you encounter or the challenges you face. When you understand that your worth is non-negotiable, you begin to protect it. You stop allowing people to disrespect you, manipulate you, or take advantage of you. You stop tolerating behavior that undermines your value, and instead, you demand the respect and treatment you deserve. When you know your worth, you stop letting others define you or impose their own limitations on you. You start making decisions that align with your true value, choosing relationships, opportunities, and environments that honor who you are and what you bring to the table. This also means being unwilling to settle. Far too often, people compromise on their standards in an effort to please others, avoid conflict, or out of fear that they won't find anything better. This happens in relationships, careers, friendships, and many other aspects of life. People often stay in situations that don't align with their values or bring them happiness because they don't believe they deserve more. But when you recognize your worth, you realize that you don't have to settle for less. You can walk away from situations that are not right for you because you understand that your happiness and peace are worth more than compromising your values. Your worth is also tied to your self-respect. The way you view yourself directly impacts how others view you. If you don't respect your own boundaries, others won't respect them either. When you set clear boundaries and hold firm to them, you are showing the world that your worth is not up for negotiation. People can try to push your limits or take advantage of your kindness, but when you stand firm in your worth, you teach others how to treat you. It becomes a powerful reminder that your value is not to be diminished or compromised, no matter what the situation is. Knowing that your worth is non-negotiable also brings a sense of freedom. It frees you from the need to please others or conform to their expectations. When your worth is grounded in your own self-awareness, you no longer need to seek approval from those around you. You no longer chase after validation because you have already recognized that you are enough, just as you are. This self-assurance opens up space for you to fully embrace your authentic self, without the pressure of trying to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. This mindset also extends to the way you view failure and success. When you understand that your worth is not dependent on external accomplishments or the judgments of others, you become more resilient in the face of challenges. You stop taking failures personally and instead view them as opportunities for growth. Your worth is unwavering whether you're succeeding or struggling, because your value is not contingent on your circumstances. This frees you from the cycle of chasing external markers of success and allows you to focus on what truly matters: your personal growth, your happiness, and your sense of fulfillment. Another important aspect of recognizing your non-negotiable worth is that it empowers you to stop tolerating toxicity. Whether it's in relationships, friendships, or workplaces, knowing your worth means walking away from situations that diminish your spirit. Toxicity thrives when people feel they don't deserve better or are too afraid to leave a situation. But when you understand your value, you stop allowing toxic energy to occupy your life. You recognize that you deserve to be surrounded by people and environments that support your growth, happiness, and well-being. You begin to create a life that reflects the standards of respect, love, and positivity that you've set for yourself. Understanding that your worth is non-negotiable is an empowering realization that shifts the trajectory of your life. It moves you from a place of self-doubt to one of self-assurance. It strengthens your boundaries, enhances your self-respect, and encourages you to make choices that align with your true value. When you stand firm in the knowledge that you are worthy, you become unstoppable. You walk through the world with confidence, knowing that your worth is not something that can be taken away or diminished. It is a permanent part of who you are. And once you realize this, you can live your life to the fullest, embracing all that you deserve.